up, dudes? My name's Brad. I'm a worship musician. Mostly do stuff for Lifeway Fuge camps and then a few small events here and there. And I'm going to show you my sound rig that I've put together for camp. So right here I have my Behringer X32, kind of standard. A lot of worship musicians are using them. I went for the rack version for just a little bit more portability. But the real game winner right here in my rig is this audio snake that I have installed on the front. And what this thing does is it splits my channels for me. So let's say I plug in a kick and it splits it two different ways, so I can have one on my Behringer board, and then if we have someone running sound, he can have a signal as well. Then on the back, another little key feature on here, I have a back plate. This is where all of our mains and subs, and then a few of our musicians are right here. And then also I have our drummer hooked up right here since he's closest to this rig. And then I have a spot for our router out, laptop, and our hard drive. And then a few powers. So real standard system, a lot of people are using them nowadays. But the real game winner for my system is a new little thing that's come out called Audio Fusion. And it is a game changer. So what Audio Fusion is this really nice little interface that allows you to connect your phones up to a Wi-Fi network to have wireless in-ear packs through your cell phones. I mean, like, this is stuff like you can only dream about. So I know what you're thinking, like, you're thinking lag, lack of quality, and just like something that's not going to be useful. But it is everything but that. So when I first bought this, I bought one code, out of skepticism, because I was thinking, man, this stuff ain't going to work, but I'll just, for kicks and giggles, I'll try it. So I tried it out, and gave me tons of problems, and I didn't know what was going on. So this was on a Sunday morning that I was trying this out, and it just was not working very well. So I sent a message to the Audio Fusion people, and within 10 minutes, the guy that I see in all the videos on their website messaged me back, and he said, hey, here's what you're doing wrong. He told me what to do. Man, this thing works awesome now. Like, I'm saying, like, I've used like the regular Sennheiser stuff and like traditional wireless in-ear packs, and like it's just way better. And then as far as like wired packs go, like about the same quality. So it's fantastic. Just a really great system. So here's what I got going. I got my laptop here, and it's running a program that I can't remember the name of. It's called the Soundcaster app. You can get on the App Store. And this is kind of like your base camp for how things are getting processed in your in-ear systems. So like these just kind of control like the general levels of like what everything's at. And so what that does is it gets a USB signal from my X32 right here on the back. You have like a little USB drive on the back. Mine's actually not the standard one, it's the Cymatic U-Track aftermarket, which is pretty nice. And that goes into your laptop. You then have to get a little dongle, which then goes to a router, which I have mounted on a mic stand. I don't think you really need to do it, but just for aesthetic purposes, I did that on mine. And that's pretty much it. And then you connect. So as far as routing goes on this system, if you're using the Behringer system, I would highly suggest just hooking it up to your P16s, unless you're like have some people that are already using it. But the reason I would suggest that is you're only going to get 16 channels out of your Soundcaster to your Audio Fusion, so it just kind of works out really good as far as space goes. So what you can do is you just kind of go from channel to channel right here in the routing page under Ultranet, and you kind of go through and just pick which channel that you're going to want to use for that. So like I kind of just went through and I did all my microphones first, and then I did my instruments, click and then track, did a talk back. And on the drums it's a little bit trickier since it is 16 channels most of the time. You're not going to be running just a couple of mics for your drum sets. You're going to have a mic on each tom and snare, and then some cymbal mics and a kick mic. So what I did is, you can do it tons of different ways, but the way I chose to do it for now is I kept my kick on one channel, my snare on one channel, and then I ran my cymbals and toms to a bus where I just kind of threw them in there just for purpose of having them in the in-ears mix. Yeah, so that's how I chose to do it. And then after you get all your P16s mapped, what you're going to do is you're going to go to your card out, and this is where you're going to get your USB signal to your computer. And what you want to do is you want to go through outputs 1 through 8, and then you want to have P16 1 through 8, and then you want to have P16 9 through 16, and that's going to map out your audio to your laptop. So here's the Soundcast strap, and it's really easy to set up, so let's just start over. We'll go open the Soundcaster, pulls up the screen, then you're going to see a thing on to the side here. It's called the input devices. What you want to go to do is you're going to find your digital mixer. Mine's called U-Track, and then blam, pulls up all your channels. Really easy to navigate through. It's going to show 32 channels on here, but remember you can only broadcast 16 channels to Audio Fusion. So as far as rig goes, this is kind of how I generally have it set up. While this laptop runs our Soundcaster, it also runs our loops that our drummer runs. So we're just going to keep this back here with him, just in case anything goes wrong, he can mess around with it. So I have the laptop on top of my digital soundboard, and all the wires run in from the back like I showed you, and then our router is going to be kind of behind him, just for purposes to keep it in the same room and away from any walls, and also just kind of has a nice look mounted on that mic stand instead of just kind of sitting on the floor. As far as your router goes, there's tons of different ways you can go about this. I just went with this Linksys AC 2600. It was suggested on the Audio Fusion website, and it was well within my price range, and we're not really running that many musicians, and it seems to do a pretty good job of handling all of our stuff. You just want to make sure when you get it, you want to go to your Linksys setup and then make it a private network. Get a new password for it. Turn off your 2.4 gigahertz if you're not using it for possibly some sound mixing or something like that, but you don't want a whole lot of traffic on your 5 gigahertz channel for the people that are using the Soundcaster and Audio Fusion apps. But yeah, all you want to do is just plug these things up into the back. Don't use the internet ports, just use these Ethernet ports here off to the side, and that's where you want to run all your stuff to. So now I'm on the Linksys Wi-Fi setup page, and what you want to do here is just real simple. You want to turn off your 2.4 gigahertz, so you can see that I have it off right there, and then we're going to focus on this 5 gigahertz band. Make sure you have it labeled so something that the whole band recognizes and can see that it's yours. So I named mine ATL Command Center. And then for password, I put it as Drake Smells because that's our keyboard player's name. First thing you want to do as far as settings goes, you want to go to this Wi-Fi mode and you want to set it to AC only. Also, you want to go over here and on your channel width, you need to have that running either 40 megahertz or 80 megahertz. The site says do not use 80 megahertz. Why? Or 20 megahertz. Why? I don't know. And as far as channel goes, what you can do is you can go up here and where your Wi-Fi is on your MacBook, you push option and then click it, and then you're going to go to open Wi-Fi or wireless diagnostics. You will ignore the pop-up and just go up to window and then use scan. And then what you can do from here is you can run the scan now feature and it'll tell you the best channel to use. So right now in my current area I need to be using the 153. So then I can go over here and make the adjustments and then I can apply it, but I'm not going to. And there you go. So as far as what I have to say about the Audio Fusion and Soundcaster app, I mean, they're really good products. You're getting a lot of value, and it's a really good price. $100 per musician. I mean, that's a steal compared to like paying $1,000 for a wireless pack from, some of the traditional companies. You'll have to get a Wi-Fi router, and you don't need to cheap out on that because that's really going to set the tone for how your Audio Fusion is going to work. I would highly recommend this product. It is super useful. It's going to be super useful to our ministry this summer on the road. If you have any questions about it, like I said earlier, the customer support for these people is absolutely fantastic. If I was trying to get in touch with one of the big brands like Shure or Sennheiser about my wireless pack not working on a Sunday morning, I mean, no one would have answered my email until like Monday. And just to have that reassurance that they're always watching out for you and they want to help and continue to make their product better, I mean, that's very reassuring. So right now, I can recommend these products for personal use. Later on, I plan on doing a video with the rest of my band after they've got to use them for a couple performances, and maybe we'll even do some live stuff of us on the road this summer using this product. But yeah, if you have any questions about it, for sure hit the people up over at Audio Fusion. They'd be happy to answer whatever you need to know about it. So see you later.